My grandpa raised me as a good Pennsylvanian, trained to hate Ohio from the start. I would half-joke cringe at Welcome to Ohio border signs, and every city we visited had a nickname. Youngstown was hell. Cleveland was hell too, even hellerer. Dayton was, come on Dad, do we really have to go to Dayton again? It wasn't until I met a guy at a party who was actually from Dayton and professed my undying sympathies for the circumstances of his early life, and he asked me whatever happened to me in Ohio that made me hate the place so much that I realized I actually kind of had a sweet spot for it. Dayton was this one long stretch of beautiful with my uncle and his family always awaiting us with that true Midwestern comfort. In Cleveland, well, I really did fucking hate Cleveland, but I only ever went to the airport there, and airports are not always representative of a city, and Youngstown was this home away from home, so spit shot close where my friends kept moving. I could have rode my bike there on a nice enough day. A few paths would have saved me those welcome signs to cringe at, like somebody forgot to draw his line in the sand to inform anyone coming across it that they were like totally in that dude's shit now. Like it mattered. When I flew out of the Cleveland airport, I would look from the window of the plane, hoping to find the border etched red as a map, so my little under the influence of granddad, Ohio-hating brain could know we were clear of that wretched airspace with its smell of trees and Aunt Linda's Buckeye cookies. It should have taught me a lot about borders. Should have been the exploding Christmas pamphlet of a suicide bomber, shockwave waking me to the fact that our neighbors are like us and all this fighting over invisible lines is a waste. Moments like these should have taught us all to stop looking for divisions where there are none. Instead, we just keep hating Ohio until somebody asks us why. Why the lines matter more than the humanity. Why some fictional separation should be made so real with only ignorance and the guttural power of belief. It was only a personal revelation until SB 1070. Now I find myself writing Jan Brewer every day, asking her why she hates Ohio, but never explaining the question, so that if this ever comes across her desk, she might finally get a grip and stop trying to draw lines where they weren't meant to be, between people instead of just economies. Maybe her and Sheriff Joe Arpaio could stop hating Ohio together. Maybe the whole Arizona legislature could drop pens and pretensions and actually give a shit about our brothers on the other side of the invisible cage instead of spending their ignorance to make fiction into fact, turning 2010 into 1950 and melanin back into a crime. Maybe they'll realize that much like the internment of the Japanese during World War II, public support does not make a genocide of voices acceptable. Maybe we can stop drawing ourselves into corners, making neighbors into enemies when we're lost for those. Maybe we can stop feeling sorry for people because they're from Ohio, Kurdistan, Mexico, Palestine. Maybe we could realize that these lines we keep drawing in the sand are so easily changed with just a gust, and we could stop looking at them, and we could finally take a real look at us.